Beautiful night last night at Pulau Unpronounceable. I'll give it a shot. Pulau Tuksabangmas, I think. You can pronounce it for yourself. Pulau Tuksabangmas. I guess once you get used to it, it'll roll off the tongue. Anyway, we spent the night anchored up in here. It was absolutely gorgeous. We've got a very light breeze this morning. We've just got to head around and then down into the channel. We've got the tide going against us. A very light breeze. So how far we get is difficult to say. I want to avoid using the engine as much as possible. Although the forecast shows that there will be a light breeze that, you know, we might get a truck down the channel with. And around about 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, the tide might turn in our favour here. So, you know, fingers crossed on that one, I hope so. Ultimately, if we need to use the engine, we'll use the engine. I just don't want to because we're short on cash, very short. So we need to watch every penny at the moment. Today's been lots of this, just light air, tacking. Haven't been fighting a big tide today, which is good. So we have made ground, but I think we're going to be satisfied with our 25 miles today. I don't think we're going to press on for 35 miles. If we did, we'd be arriving there sort of right on sunset. And yeah, we've got a little repair we need to make to our headsail as well. So by anchoring a little earlier today, we've got time to make that repair. So we've got a couple of choices here for an anchorage. We've got this one here. At Zulu Waterways shows that someone's anchored there before. I reckon it's calm and so on, but having a look at satellite images, it looks like the anchorage area itself is quite small, and there's steep reef all the way around it, and with the murky water I'm not so sure that we're going to see the reef. So that's option one. Option two I see just around the corner here. Looks like we could get in there and anchor in there and have a little bit more room, certainly if there's any error. And having a look at the satellite imagery, it doesn't seem to show big steep reef walls, certainly mud banks and so on. But the second one looks more forgiving. So it's a bit of a conundrum. I could go to one where someone's already been, or I can go to one where I've got no report from anyone being there before. We may go there and find it's full of fish traps and nets. Who knows? I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it. Working our way into anchorage number 2. Where I expected to find about 10 metres according to the charts, we're finding about 25, which could explain why no one's anchored here. At least just little houses, stilt houses going over the water. Coconuts, little beach, maybe, but you know, we're finding 25 metres where I was expecting to find maybe 15 or 10. Now, just have to scout around and see what we can find. I'm sure there's some depths in here that are suitable, as long as we don't hit a reef trying to find them. So I've just dropped the pick in about 8 metres or 9 metres of water. I started recording the sonar log as we came in. You see we came in at 20 odd metres and then it rapidly shelved up to about 8 or 9 in here. We should be seeing 11 according to the charts, but that's just not the case. And I'd say there's a bank here as well, but I reckon this extends quite a bit. Anyway, we're anchored off this little fishing village here. And hopefully we have a good night's sleep. There's a little bit of fetch possible if we get a strong wind, but I don't expect any strong wind here. I think it's going to be a calm night. I think the wind will drop out on us. Good morning. We had a peaceful night here at Pulau Unpronounceable. You know, a few fishing boats passing by, but still quite pleasant. The sun's just snuck over the horizon, hiding behind the clouds behind me. Got the generator running. We used to fit it a battery power last night because I put some extra lights on, just because we had so much fishing traffic moving past us during the night. I wanted to make sure they could see us. Now we're going to continue south today, down into the Lingare group of islands. Planning on heading to Pulau Unpronounceable Island, where I hope to dive on that prop again and have another little bit of a sticky beat. I think the prop blades are sticking, which is causing it not to balance up properly and vibrate. Yeah, so I'm going to get some clear water there and have a dive. I had a bit of a dive here yesterday afternoon for like 2 minutes because this looks like croc country to me. But I had to look, and it appeared to be a little bit sticky, you know, on the feathering on the prop blades. So anyway, we've got a light breeze this morning coming out of the southwest at about, I'm guessing, 7 to 8 knots. So it should be a nice little sail actually. Beating again, but that's going to be that's what we'll be doing every day really for Indonesia. Anyway, toasters up. Time to eat. What do you say I could pick out this morning? Just having a lazy little coast out of that anchorage at Pulau Unpronounceable or something, I think it was called. We found a little bit of breeze. We're getting about 10 knots of wind, which is kind of perfect really. If we're going to go to windward, 10 knots is about right. That way we don't have to fight big seas, but we can still make 5 knots. Well, we did find some wind. We're getting about 18 knots apparent. We're making probably more of that, so maybe 14 knots true. We're on a pretty tight beat. We're at 38 degrees on the wind. We could go to about 34 to 36, but this is giving us plenty of speed. We're making 6.5 over the ground, and against the tide, that's fantastic. Really happy with it. Starlight's just cracking along, you know. She's having a good little sail here. We're heading south-southeast into the Mesanak Island group, and just watching out for these small fishing boats that we've got ahead of us. You won't see them on the GoPro. They're kind of canoe size. Tarn's taking care of the ship on the starboard side. Say hello to YouTube, Tarn. Hello YouTube. Well, when the wind got down to 5 knots and less, trying to fight the tide and this uncomfortable little swell that doesn't match the wind, we ran out of options. We started the engine and we're now motoring. We've noticed yesterday afternoon, we noticed a significant vibration in the propeller and the prop shaft. I'd noticed that probably for about a week, but it's just getting progressively worse, and yesterday was quite bad. So regardless of the crocodile risk yesterday, I went for a bit of a snorkel over the side, and I found the blades were a bit, because it's a feathering prop, the blades appeared to be a little bit stuck, so I gave them a rotate, gave all the blades a bit of a scrape and a clean, got all the barnacles off, and we've just started the engine about 10 minutes ago, and it seems to have fixed that vibration, so that's fantastic news. But we've got almost no internet. Oh my god. But you know what, I mean, we've become so addicted to the internet. It seems like a drug for us, and I guess because we need it to stay in touch with you guys. You know, all the social media stuff that goes along with creating this channel, there's a lot of work in it, and losing the internet really hurts. But anyway, I think we've got about 3 gigabytes left, which will burn up in an hour's usage of looking at Facebook or something. So anyway, so we're motoring now, probably the next couple of hours, and then we'll get to anchorage. We did 80% of today's trip under sail, so it's good, even against those light winds and tides. So I've dropped the pick just off the reef edge here, probably 50 to 75 metres I guess, no, closer to 100, 35 metres down now. Probably go to about 40, then I'll let it grab, let the boat settle and then lay out the other 20. So that's 40 now. I'll let that just slowly grab the bow, bring the boat around so she's pointed at the anchor, and then once she's settled I'll lay out another 20 just to be sure. So she swung her head up at the 40 metres and then I laid another 20, so we've got 60 metres out. Now I'm just going to put the snubber on. Look, there's many different designs for this. I'll show you ours. Keep it stashed in the locker here. And basically I just have a little hook on the end of that. That hooks onto the chain. And then I put a little bow line at the end of the line. And that creates me a loop or an eye. We're taking advantage of the calm winds here in the anchorage late afternoon to do some urgent repairs on our headsail that's been needed for a while.